Now with Rebirth coming back, a lot of people have been wondering what is going to be the brand new SMG meta for season 4. Now in this video, I'll be giving you the best 5 SMG metas that I absolutely recommend y'all to try on Rebirth season 4. Make sure you'll leave a like, squad if you're new, and hit the notification down below right after you subscribe. Other than that, let's get straight up into these class setups. Now I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. The nerf that they did on this H4 Blixen did absolutely nothing. It did absolutely nothing. No changes, no specific changes, because every change that they did was absolutely insignificant. Like every change that they did to this gun, every nerf that they tried to do with this gun, it did nothing. This gun is still the best gun in my opinion, best SMG as a whole overall, especially Caldera. No matter what's happening, this H4 Blixen is still outgunning it at close range and medium range. So just make sure you try out this class setup. This gun is absolutely crazy. Now for the muzzle, make sure you put in a recoil booster for the fire rate and lower down the accuracy just a little bit, but you don't really care about that. For the barrel, make sure you put on the Carlson 17 just for, like, you know, the horizontal recoil control and etc. You can switch it up if you really want to, but honestly I'm telling you, this is the best one in my opinion. Now for the underbarrel, I was using the M1941 hand stop just because, but I do recommend y'all also put on a strife angle because it feels nasty too. Now for the magazine, I mean, this is all self-explanatory. We just need the 54. Honestly, we just needed to hit. We just needed to hit. For the ammunition, make sure you put on lengthen. For the red grip, make sure you put on, I was honestly running fabric. Other people run hatchet and stuff. You can't run hatchet and stuff, really, like, can't control the recoil, but I run fabric just because of the honestly ADS speed, sprint to fire speed, and you already know. And then for the optic, make sure you put on the slate reflect. Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Yo, did they take it out? No way, they took it out. Oh, right there. For the stock, make sure you put on a remove stock. And then for the perk 1, honestly I run at the fleet, and then for the perk 2 I'm running quick. Now that's pretty much it for the class setup. Let's get straight up into the next gun. Now for this next gun, you already know what's going on as a whole. This gun is one of the best, one of the most consistent guns as a whole ever since Vanguard integration came into play. This gun, no matter the nerf, buff, no matter the situation, this gun still absolutely shreds. It's still able to do what it got to do. It go absolutely crazy. It go absolutely crazy. I recommend y'all to absolutely try this if you don't like the H4 Blixen, or if you don't like any other SMGs, but this, like I said, most consistent, most pick. Now for the muzzle, make sure you put on the recoil booster. For the fire rate, again, low down the accuracy, but you know, don't really care about it. For the barrel, make sure you put in the VDD 189 short for the damage range, bullet velocity, and limb damage. For the underbarrel, make sure you put on the M1941 hand stop for the vertical and horizontal recoil control. For the magazine, make sure you put in a 7.62 Greenco 45 round mag. For the red grip, honestly I forgot what I run on this. I'm pretty sure I run taped on this, but then they did nerf it. So honestly, the only thing to run on it is honestly stippled. And then for the ammunition, make sure you put on lengthen. For the optic, make sure you put on slate reflector. Again, slate reflector as a whole, most of these Vanguard weapons go absolutely crazy due to the fact that it's Vanguard weapons. So like, it's gonna go crazy. And then for the stock, honestly I run cruiser nick instead of the remove stock because of the recoil control. I just need as much, you know, I don't need to lose a lot of recoil control. And then for the perk 1, we use brace for the initial firing recoil that we also lose by choosing out this stock. And then for the perk 2, make sure you put on quick, because quick honestly is self-explanatory. We just need movement as a whole, and we do not want not a single SMG to be slow, because if an SMG is slow, there's no point in using that SMG or using it as an SMG. Now other than that, I mean, this is the MP40 class setup. Y'all can take a screenshot if you want. Let's get straight up into the next gun. Now I ain't gonna lie to y'all. This is the third most consistent pick as a whole. This Welgun, now I've never seen a Welgun fail. I never seen a Welgun fail. This Welgun does absolutely wonders. This Welgun is wonders as a whole. This Welgun is one of the best weapons in my opinion. The fire rate is still there. The fire rate is there. Honestly, the fire rate, the damage is there. Nothing, honestly, it didn't get touched. It didn't get nerf buffed or nothing. It really did not get touched. So this gun as a whole just feels absolutely amazing, especially inside the right hands, because the recoil, everything is still perfectly same. It's just the same. It's calmed down. It didn't get touched from the last season, and it still outputs the same basically. So for the muzzle, make sure you put on the recoil booster for the fire rate. For the barrel, make sure you put on the Gowan short for the fire rate. Honestly, we're already 2 for 2. Just go to the magazine and put on the 40 rounds for the fire rate. For the underbarrel, make sure you put in the M1941 hand stop for the vertical horizontal recoil control. For the red grip, make sure you put on, honestly I was running taped But due to the fact that they did nerf it, make sure you just put on stipple. For the ammunition, make sure you put it on the lengthen. For the bullet velocity, for the optic, make sure you put on the slate reflector. The slate reflector as a whole on all Vanguard guns go absolutely crazy. And then for the stock, make sure you put on the Gowan skeletal, or you can put on a remove stock, but I'll be rocking the Gowan skeletal. And yo, why I look like that? Yo, this ain't my stock. That don't look like a stock. Now for the perk, make sure you put on acrobatic for the movement speed and sprint to move speed. And then for the perk 2, make sure you put on quick because of sprint speed as a whole. And that's pretty much it for the Welgun. Make sure you all try out this Welgun if you don't like the MP40 or the H4 Blixen. Other than that, let's get straight up into the next gun. All right, now y'all already know how this go. One of the best guns in my opinion, one of the rarer. The rarer, I call it the rarer because it go absolutely crazy. Well, it is Armaguerra, correct? It's rarer. It just sounds about right. It sounds about authentic. But this gun, one of the most fire rated, fastest fire rating guns as a whole inside this Warzone as a whole. Topping up with one of the best guns, so I would place it at 4 honestly in the top 5 because honestly it holds its weight. But I feel like the damage output on the other guns absolutely go crazy and it's pretty much unstoppable compared to this. Now for the muzzle, make sure you put on, like I said, recoil booster like the other ones. For the barrel, usually everybody run everything else. We're supposed to be running the 315 for the damage, the bullet velocity, and the damage fall off just to be decreased. For the underbarrel, make sure you put on the M1941 hand stop for the vertical and horizontal recoil control. For the magazine, make sure you put on the 60 round mag because this gun burns through ammo as fast as possible. For the ammunition, make sure you put on length for the bullet velocity because we do need our bullets to hit as fast as possible. For the rear grip, make sure you put on a taped. Well, like I said, I'm used to running tape, but fabric, I feel like fabric and or stipple is a way if you cannot control the recoil. But I usually was running tape, but I'm gonna put on stipple. For the optic, make sure you put in the slate reflector because, like I said, Vanguard weapons absolutely go crazy with this. And then for the stock, make sure you put on the whatever this is. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it, just put that on. For the perk 1 also, make sure you put on panic. I said panic. Well, I'm tweaking. My fault, y'all. I'm sorry. Make sure you put on vital, and then for the perk 2, make sure you put on quick. Other than that, I mean that's pretty much the Armaguerra class that'll go absolutely crazy. I absolutely recommend y'all using this. Like I said, 4. And then the 5th one is going to be a little bit more of a surprise, but I feel like it's one of those guns that we have to put in it because it did get touched, and y'all already know this gun is one of the best guns as a whole. So like I said, recommend this class setup. Recommend all 4 of these class setups. Now for the last class setup, let's get straight up into it. Now my brother, hey, this is one of the guns I got touched as a whole. This is one of the guns I got touched. This is one of the guns I got just buffed. It's buffed. There was no negative stats to it, no nerfs. It got buffed. This gun as a whole was one of the best weapons in Warzone for like, I don't even know how long, even after the nerfs or even buffs. This gun was holding its own after every single meta change, etc. It still do, but due to the fact that I had a buff, it felt a little bit different. It had that extra oomph to it. You already know it had that extra oomph. So make sure you get this class setup a try, and I'm gonna be giving y'all multiple class setups with it, or with it we can use substitute. So make sure you stay in tuned so that we can listen. Now for the muzzle, make sure you put on the AG suppressor for the vertical recoil control, bullet velocity, effective damage range. For the barrel, make sure you put on the task force for the straight speed, the bullet velocity, and effective damage range. Now for the magazine, I also put on the 43 and or the 53 round drum. It varies sometimes depending on like the situation, but usually I run the drum. And then with the red grip, I put on the serpent wrap, and then for the stock, I put on no stock. Now with that, you can substitute it a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, you can substitute it a little bit. If you don't like putting on a no stock, you can put on a radar stock, put on that, and then honestly you can do multiple other things with it. You can take off the red grip and you can put on the field agent grip or the bruiser grip, but just make sure this is the class that I usually run for the stock. I just put on a little stock, task force, H suppressor, statin that 50 round drum, and the serpent wrap. Other than that, that is the last class setup for this video. Make sure you leave a like, squad if you're new. Let me know down below what other guns you think could just compete with these guns as a whole. Honestly, I told you this is my top 5 for rebirth in season 4. Like I said, other than that, leave a like, squad if you're new. Comment down below what do y'all want. 100 likes and I will be giving y'all another one this season. Other than that, I'm out. Peace.